And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Today we're going to take a look back at an older game called Babel. This is a Cosmos two-player game, and it was, I think the first time I played it was almost a decade ago, and I played it with a friend of mine, and he introduced it to me, and we played it, and wow, did I hate this game. I had just come out of playing games like Lost Cities maybe and other games that were two-player back and forth games that were a little confrontational but basically about, you know, just strategic play. Cosmos two-player game here, Babel, is confrontational. I mean, it is just in your face. It's like a pro wrestling match, just mean as all get out. You're knocked down, you're like, okay, I can build up, and the guy will knock you down again, knock you down again. Let me show you the game, which looks harmless enough, but, well, you'll see. You'll see. Here's the board. Each player has several construction sites on the board that they're going to be moving to and building temples. Here's a card that's the first level of a temple. There's also several cards in this deck that are different levels. You can see 2 and 4 and etc. And so you're building the different levels of the temple. And then you have a whole handful of cards, a whole deck of cards that will match the different people that are out here. Now you'll start with 5 of these cards, and on your turn, the first thing you'll do on your turn is you will draw 3 cards and add them to your hand. Ooh, lots of cards, but you're going to get rid of these cards quickly. What you do then after you draw cards is you have as many actions as you can take with the cards that you have. One action is very simple, is you can play any card to move your piece to that location. So I could play that one to move there. I could play the Sumerians to move to the Sumerian. Then once you go there, you're also allowed to play basically as many cards as you want to down in that area. So let's say I play these 3 Persians and Sumerians here. I can then build a temple there because I need at least one guy here to build a temple, so I build the temple. And I can build the top one from my side or from my opponent's side. And after each round, you're going to be adding 2 more temples here, so you can see there's a level 5 and a level 3. Unfortunately, I need to build a level 2, then a 3, then a 4, then a 5 on top of that. But as the game progresses, I'll be able to do that. So those are the actions. You're moving around, putting people down. And you put people down for 2 reasons. One is to have enough people to build the level of temple that you want. But the second and more important reason is when you get a group of 3 people together of the same type, you can use a special ability that they have. I should mention that if you're at a spot, you can pay once per turn, you can move 3 guys. It's called migration. The top 3 people from any stack can go to another spot. But you can use these people to do something. For example, you can get rid of 3 Assyrians, and it will destroy your opponent's temple. So you got to watch for these guys. You get rid of 3 Assyrians, and your opponent's temple's destroyed. All the cards are put back on the deck here, where they're going to be pulled back up, and you have a chance to steal them and build them for yourself. Even worse than that, I think, is the Hittites. They rob the temple level. You'll take the topmost level of your opponent, so even if they had a 5 here, I could take it and skip 2, 3, 4, 5, and just go right to 5. Ha ha ha! So the Hittites will let you rob your opponent's temple. Then we have the Medes. The Medes can force the opponent to get rid of all the types. So if you have 3 Medes and your opponent has a bunch of Persians, you can say, you're losing all your Persians, and they discard all their Persians. The Sumerians are better than the Medes because they will make them actually switch sides. You pick one type and they will all come over to your side. The Persians let you jump a level, so I can go from level 1 to level 3 and from level 3 to level 5. But any 3 people, any 3 of the same kind, can be used to cut your opponent's hand in half. So I have 8 cards. I'm like, ooh, wait till you see my next turn. And my opponent says, oh, I have 3 of these. You're going to cut your hand in half. Now, what's really interesting is when you use one of these special abilities, you have to get rid of one of the cards. So you can't use it again. But if you have 4 of them, you get rid of one of the cards. You still have 3. You can use it again. So I might have a hand of 8 cards, and you say, nope, now you only have 4. Nope, now you only have 2. Can you imagine that? So it's complete destruction and attacking back and forth. And what you're trying to do as the game progresses is you're trying to build enough temples in front of you to get a level of 15 and higher. If you do that, and your opponent has less than 10, you automatically win. If they have more than 10, well, then you go to the first one and get 20 as the winner. And that's basically all there is to the game. It's all about using these cards to move your person back and forth and to attack and destroy your opponent's temples while building yours. Alright, well that's basically how the game is played, and it's, like I said, it doesn't seem like it, but I'm telling you, you knock the guy down, you steal his temple, you do this, and you knock his thing down. And now, you're sitting here saying, well, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. And that's what I thought when I first played it too. But I tried it again and then again and again. And as long as I'm willing to play against somebody in a very confrontational mode, I like this. It's almost like a Euro war game. Not really war, but it's just because it's right there and it's all about that. And then you learn after a while, okay, what can I do? I don't want to keep too many cards in my hands. I want to get cards out in front of me, but I got to be careful. I got to watch my opponent's moving his guys. Sure, there's a lot of luck of the draw and what cards you get into your hand. There's a lot of, and what temples come up, but after a while you get pretty strategic in which cards you're going to move here. Hand management, try to play as many cards as you can so they don't waste their cards cutting your hand in half. Because at first I was like, oh, you're going to hurt me, I'm going to build up, I'm going to build up, I'm going to build up, and you wait. But you know what? You do that and they cut your hand in half. So it's a neat idea. I haven't ever played another game that's like it. I mean, Uwe Rosenberg is known for Bonanza and for Agricola and Le Havre and all this stuff. But this was a game that I think is one of his unknown, unshined games. So that's Babel. Certainly check it out, especially if you're in a mood to fight with somebody.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.